Hello everyone and welcome to Barca News. It's January 5th, 2023 and Joan Laporta has confirmed that Barcelona are not going to be making any signings during the winter transfer market. Also, the club are currently planning a joint signing with Real Betis of the Brazilian Danilo, and Chelsea are determined on trying to beat Barcelona to the signing of Moukoko. We have a lot to discuss, so let's begin. Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. My name is Mo, and just a reminder that I'm currently conducting a Barcelona jersey raffle where the winner are gonna get to pick which Barcelona jersey they'll get to take home, whether it's the home kit, away kit, or the third kit, and where the winner is also going to get to pick what name and number will be printed on the back, and of course what size of jersey. Now all you have to do to participate in this raffle is to subscribe to the channel and leave a comment on Sunday's video, which will be when Barcelona are gonna face off against Atletico de Madrid. Now, as I promised in yesterday's video, I went back and watched the replay of the match of Barcelona versus Intercity in the Copa del Rey, where Barcelona won 3-4, and I must say that I was not impressed with the team's performance. Now, even though Barcelona did have a good first half where they kept up the pressure on Intercity and they created a lot of chances, the second half and the two extra halves were not good. Now, Barcelona made a lot of mistakes in two facets of the game. The first one being the defense. Now, Barcelona had a lot of defensive mistakes, silly mistakes that a team like Barcelona should not be making, which resulted in Intercity, a team from the third division of Spanish football, to be able to score 3 goals against Barcelona. And this is absolutely unacceptable, because if a team like Intercity can score that many goals against Barcelona, you can only imagine how much a stronger team, how many more goals a stronger team can make, such as Real Madrid or any other team in the Champions League. Now, another problem that Barcelona had was a recurrent problem that we've been seeing all throughout this season, which I've discussed in my previous videos, which is Barcelona's attack. Now, Barcelona's attack does not seem to have any clear idea of what to do when they're attacking. There are no mechanisms in place, no quick transitions, no quick triangulations, no 1-2 plays, no players run into the empty space to either get open or to take the mark with them away from their teammates. All I see is players passing the ball from one side or the other to the field, hoping for an opening to occur. Now, this is not going to work for Barcelona against stronger teams, and especially against teams who like to defend with a low block. So Barcelona are definitely going to have to begin developing those mechanisms and those automatic reactions from the players when they're attacking in order to increase their efficiency when scoring goals. Now, talking about players specifically, I really liked what I saw from Pablo Torre. I thought that he had some really good minutes with the team, where he was very decisive and very confident in all the decisions that he took. He was very good with the ball at his feet and dribbling past players, and he had really good vision of the field, and he made some really good passes. And I would love to see Pablo Torre get him some more playing time, and I think he could be a great rotational player to rotate with Pedri, to give Pedri more resting time, because after all, Pedri has been playing 90 minutes of every single match ever since he arrived in Barcelona last season. Now, I really also liked Franck Kessie in yesterday's match. I must be honest, I didn't like Franck Kessie's performances in previous matches, but I think that he was very solid yesterday defensively. He won every duel that he participated in, and he helped Barcelona maintain control of the midfield. Now, I really think that Barcelona have a big problem with their wingers, more specifically with both Dembélé and Rafinha. In the case of Dembélé, he creates a lot of danger because he can dribble past players with no problems. But the problem arises in his final decision, where he either shoots the ball when he should have passed it or passes the ball when he should have shot it. And either way, his accuracy is completely off, with both his passes and his shots completely missing the target. Now, in the case of Rafinha, is the total opposite of Dembélé, where he makes really good passes and takes really good shots on goal. But unfortunately, he cannot dribble past players, and as such, he's unable to create danger from the sides. And this is a big problem for a team like Barcelona, who really depend on their wingers to create danger and to unlock defenses. Now, Barcelona definitely have a lot of work ahead of them. and they need to correct a lot of these defensive and attacking mistakes if they're hoping to win La Liga title. And I really hope that yesterday's match was a big wake-up call for Xabi and the players to begin changing things around, because these kind of mistakes cannot be made against stronger opponents, and especially again in stronger competitions such as the Champions League, which yes, we are currently out of it, or even in the Europa League, where the level of play has increased a lot in this past few years. Now, Xabi was not happy with the performance of the team either, and he said, "We can't be happy, but these things can happen in the Copa. 7 top flights team have been knocked out. We did not kill the game off when we were in front. We could have made it 0-2, 2-4, but we made things difficult for ourselves. We were not good enough in both boxes. It's the same feeling we had after the Espanyol game on Saturday. That was a warning, and this is another one. We weren't good in the 2 areas. We didn't stop crosses coming. We didn't defend our box well. We did some good things, but we suffered a lot. We complicated things too much." Now, Barcelona's next opponent will be Atletico de Madrid on Sunday in La Liga, where Barcelona are going to be without Robert Lewandowski after the administrative court for sport upheld his 3-match ban. And it's now being reported that Barcelona have decided to respect that decision, and they're not going to proceed with any further appeals. So as such, the Polish striker will miss the 3 next matches, which will be against Atletico de Madrid, Getafe, and Girona. Now, in other news, Joan Laporta just gave a very interesting interview in Spain, where he touched on a myriad of subjects and left us with a lot of headlines. The main one being that he has confirmed that Barcelona are not going to be able to make any signings during the winter transfer market. Now, Barcelona were hoping to reinforce the right-back position during the winter transfer market, given that Hector Bellerin has disappointed at the club, and given that Sergi Roberto is at the end of his career. And the club were also hoping to reinforce the pivot position, given that Sergio Busquets' contract will expire with the club at the end of the season. However, La Liga has informed Barcelona that they're currently over their wage limit, and as such, they're not going to be able to make any signings. And Joan Laporta confirmed this once again in yesterday's interview, where he said that Barcelona are not going to be making any signings during this transfer market. Now, Joan Laporta also confirmed other things, such as the fact that neither Gabi nor Ronald Araujo's contracts are going to be registered during this winter transfer market. And as I reported previously, Barcelona have given both Gabi and Ronald Araujo first-team contracts with much higher salaries and higher release clauses. And the club were hoping to register both contracts during this transfer market, and we're hoping to give Gabi the number 6 jersey, which the club have put aside for him. But because of the financial fair play rules, Barcelona are not going to be able to register both contracts until the summer transfer market. Now, another thing that Barcelona are not going to be able to do during this winter is the contract renewal of Alejandro Balde. Now, Balde's contract will expire with Barcelona in the summer of 2024, and Barcelona are hoping to extend his contract and give him a first-team contract during this winter transfer market. But Joan Laporta has confirmed that it's not going to happen until the summer due to the financial fair play rules. But Joan Laporta did confirm that the contract renewal has been finalized, and all the negotiations have been finalized as well. So everything has been agreed between the player and the club, and everything is set in place. But it's not going to be able to be finalized until the summer, when both Alejandro Balde and the club are expected to put pen to paper. Now, during this interview, Joan Laporta also closed the door on the possible signing of Bernardo Silva, and he said that the club are not going to be signing Bernardo Silva, and are not going to be paying 80 million euros for him or for any other players, because the club simply cannot afford to make such big spending. And Joan Laporta also confirmed that no players will be up for sale during this winter transfer market, especially Dembele, because as I reported in yesterday's video, it is being reported that PSG are interested in signing Dembele because they want to offload Neymar and replace the Brazilian with the French attacker. Now, Joan Laporta also said that neither Frenkie de Jong nor Ter Stegen are up for sale, and that Barcelona are not going to touch their contracts, and they're not going to try to negotiate a salary reduction. And as reported previously, Barcelona are actually hoping that both players, both Frenkie de Jong and Ter Stegen, are the ones to take initiative and try to negotiate a salary reduction with the club. Because after all, both players' contracts were renewed by the previous president, Josep Maria Bartomeu, and as such, they were both given salaries that are way above market value. Now finally, Joan Laporta did touch on one more subject, which is why Barcelona did not renew Lionel Messi's contract. And Joan Laporta said, "I had to put Barcelona ahead of the best player in the history of football. In those moments of economic ruin, I couldn't keep him. I think it was the best thing for the club. Right now, he is a PSG player and I prefer not to talk about him. We are focused on Barcelona. Leo will always be part of our club and I would like him to have a different ending than the one he had. There are several options, but I would be wrong to say them. We have a relationship." Now on to the news that Barcelona are currently planning a joint signing with Real Betis of the Brazilian Danilo. Now Danilo is a 21-year-old midfielder who currently plays for the Brazilian club Palmeiras, and it's reported that he is one of the biggest promising talents coming out of Brazil, and he's described as a flexible midfielder who can play as a pivot, as an interior, and in other positions in the midfield. And it's reported that Barcelona are planning a joint signing of the player alongside with Real Betis, the same way both clubs signed the Brazilian Emerson Royal, who eventually did not work out for Barcelona, but the club were able to make around 30 to 40 million euros off the sale of the Brazilian fullback. Now on to the news that Chelsea are determined on trying to beat Barcelona to the signing of Youssoufa Moukoko. Now Moukoko's contract with Dortmund will expire in the summer of 2023, and Barcelona have asked the player to wait for them until the summer when he will become a free agent and when Barcelona will be able to undergo several operations in order to clear space on their wage bill. However, it's now being reported that Chelsea are determined on signing Moukoko and they are willing to spend as much money as needed because Chelsea's new sporting director is very impressed with the young German and really wants him on their squad. Now, Dortmund would like Youssoufa Moukoko to extend his contract with the Bundesliga club so they can then sell him later on and make some money off his transfer fee. And if they can't extend his contract, then they would like to sell him during this winter transfer market so they can make money off the transfer fee. So we're going to have to see whether Youssoufa Moukoko will be able to withstand the pressure of Dortmund and wait for Barcelona until the summer, or whether Chelsea are going to be able to lure the young German away from the Bundesliga. Now, as I reported in a previous video, Nico, who's currently on loan with Valencia, suffered a fracture in his left foot in the match between Valencia and Villarreal. It's now being reported that the player has underwent successful surgery in the city of Barcelona and that he could be out between 1.5 to 3 months. Now this is a big loss for Barcelona because they sent Nico to Valencia on loan so he can get as much playing time as possible so he can continue his growth and development, and this injury definitely interferes with those plans. Now, Nico is not the only player who's currently on loan that has suffered an injury. It's now being reported that Alex Collado, who's currently on loan with Elche, has ruptured a muscle in his groin and he will be out for some time. And the clubs have not specified how long Alex Collado is going to be out, but they have announced that the player will be under the recovery of both medical teams from Barcelona and from Elche as well. Now, this is also a big loss for Barcelona because they were hoping to give Alex Collado more playing time by sending him on loan so they can be able to offload him in the summer. So we're going to have to see whether this injury will interfere with the club's plans. So that is it for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give me a like. Also, I would like to invite all of you to please leave a comment down below, giving me all your thoughts and opinions about all the news that I share with you. And finally, I would like to invite all of you to please subscribe to the channel so you can stay current on all the latest news in regards to our beloved club, FC Barcelona. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video. And as always, Peace, Barca.